Have you ever been out and been like, okay, I'm actually nervous. I don't want to be in this situation in a Sasquatch environment, or not really?
I would say one time.
Okay.
And I wasn't looking for Bigfoot either. I was with a friend. We're at my house, and where I live, it's in the middle of the desert by the missile range, and you can see every star you could imagine.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, the night sky.
New Mexico sky is the best that I've ever seen.
You know, so unfortunately on this night, you couldn't see any of the stars because it was cloud cover.
Okay.
You know, we went out there to look for UFOs, but then we're like, where the heck did the stars go? You know? So we're just hanging out, you know, walking on the gravel road that goes around our property and the other houses. And we get to the corner of my property. It's a 5-acre plot. And we hear something walk onto the gravel road in front of us. And, you know, I know what bipedal and quadrupedal sounds like, you know, on the gravel road. Lived there for a long time, and I've studied and, you know, all that fun stuff. But yeah, so something with 2 feet walked on the road about 20 feet in front of us, but it was so dark we couldn't see it. You could see my house that's in the middle of the 5 acres, but the floodlights only go out so many yards. You know what I mean? So outside of us seeing that, pitch darkness, right? And it starts pacing back and forth, right? You can hear it walking back and forth across the street in front of us, and we're like, what the hell is that? You know, we're like, oh crap, dude. You know, we're kind of freaking out. It's after midnight, and we're in the desert. You know,
yeah.
You know, there's all kinds of stuff out there, chupacabras and monsters and dogmen. And the list goes on. You know.
Yeah.
Woo! So it starts going faster, walking faster, back and forth, pacing faster, like building up a courage. You know what I mean? Like, you ever been to a bar and you see a guy that's getting drunker and drunker until he has finally has it, and then he'll run up and do it, you know? So that's the feeling that I'm getting. I've been in a bunch of those situations, you know? So I recognize that energy, and it's going faster and faster, back and forth. And I tell my friend Michael, I'm like, dude, let's squat down, grab some rocks, and chuck them at whatever the hell that is, and maybe it'll run away, right? So we grab some rocks and we chuck them, and we didn't hit it. It's still pacing back and forth. Now faster, even more upset, right? And I'm like, shh. So I reach down again and I feel for a good sized rock. And I get up and I close my eyes, even though it's pitch dark. I close my eyes and I try to use my Jedi Force, you know, which is just following the sound of its feet with my mind's eye. And I wind up, throw the rock as hard as I could, and I threw it so fast that it went zoop, made that noise. You know, if you throw them just hard enough.
Yep.
And I hit it, and it screamed, "Wah!" like that.
Damn.
And we're like, "Oh,
shut up! What?"
And we take off running to my house, towards my house, right? And there's mesquite bushes and everything, you know, on the way. So we're going as fast as we can. Of course, at the time I weighed over 400 pounds. So to me, I thought I was going really, really fast, but it was probably like 4 miles per hour or something. And my friend Michael's kind of ahead of me. And we get closer to the house to where it's lighting up the ground. And I can see next to me is that it was a juvenile Bigfoot running next to me, but on all fours, just kind of galloping and looking at me. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Stop.
And I speed up to about 5 miles per hour. And we run up the back deck, right? You know, it's only like 4 steps. We run up the back deck, and it runs into the deck on the right side and tackles it, and just boom. And we're trying to get the sliding door open, which is just like this. But we couldn't figure it out. It was like a combination lock that night.
Right.
We were so scared.
Right.
And it ran to the other side of the deck, boom, and tackled it again. And we finally got the door open and ran as I closed the door, curtain. We're like, you know, and that was the one time that I feared for myself. You know what I mean? The rest of the times, it's been more a curious and interesting situation because I could try to communicate with them because I know they're not just big primates.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
That would be the most interesting thing to me.
Yeah, they're not gorillas. You know, they're part human. So whenever I do get in close contact with them, I try to do things that they can try to communicate with me. You know, when I was with that night we were submitting some of the DNA. We were in the northern, part of New Mexico, and off the San Juan River, this private flying fishing place, property by a guy named Jake, and we were staying over there because he had a bunch of reports. And I ended up finding a Bigfoot, and it was in the bushes, like by the side of the canal that ran off the river. And I was like, I heard the movement. I was like, well, it could be a cougar, it could be a cow, it could be a bear, it could be a raccoon, it could be many, many things. But what could I do that if it's a Bigfoot, it might be able to do back? No other animal can do, besides a human or a Bigfoot. So I tapped 3 times. Tap, tap, tap. Was a rock, 2 rocks. Toot, toot, toot. And I waited, and I did it again towards them. The brush. Toot, toot, toot. And then it did it back. Tap, tap, tap. I was like, I did it again. Tap, tap, tap. So we were doing it back and forth for a while. You know what I mean? And then the other guy came. And his cigarette hanging from his mouth and his beer. He's like, "Hey man, come on, let's go this way. I think we got something good over here." And I was like,
No, you
right
don't.
here,
no,
bro.
You don't.
Dude.
Yeah, and he was like, "Man, stop playing around, Jesus. Let's go. Come on, and let's go back." I was like, "Dude, it's right here. Watch." And I did the tap tap tap. Nothing. Tap tap tap. Nothing. I'm like, "Don't do this to me right now, Bigfoot." And I do it one more time. Tap, 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 and it goes, tap. It didn't like that guy,
Right.
And he's like, oh, yeah, he was like, oh, shit. And he just leaps off the little bridge we're on and jumps into the bushes. And you hear the Bigfoot crashing through everything. He's like, hey, man, I thought where it was sitting. It's still warm.
Oh,
like,
my
God.
More. What are you doing?
Jeez.
Yeah. So...
I mean, I don't know the guy, but it's like, dude.
I want to ask you about something you said with the juvenile. It's just cruising on all 4s next to you.
They get down on all 4s from time to time. You hear?
They can run on all
stories.
4s.
Yeah.
That's where I might get a little concerned when it goes all-wheel drive on me.
And that's like they've outrun some of the Navajo Rangers.
I believe it. Oh, I believe it.
When they're going full speed, they're on all 4s.
All I can imagine is like the first, well, not the first, but the first Hulk with Eric Bana when he's running in the desert as the Hulk, and he's got so much momentum and he's trying to figure it out, and you can see him almost like tipping forward, and then he's just trucks faster and faster. I imagine a Sasquatch like that, like momentum, unimaginable strength in each one of those limbs,
and the stride is so long.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you're like just this spring-loaded muscle machine, like
grizzly bears. They're
like the Hulk.
They're beyond you, big.
Well, remember this though. Remember this, guys, about the Sasquatch is, unlike humans, our arms are shorter than our legs. Sasquatches have longer arms than their legs.
Right.
So when they go on all 4s, they're even. When we go on all 4s, our butt's in the air.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So